Hello everyone, this is Mr. Engine 88, and I know it's been a while since the last video, but now I am back, and welcome to a new series of mine I'm creating, which I like to call Tom's and Friends, You Had One Job. It's a series where I'll be discussing about something wrong with every Tom's and Friends merchandise that has been released in the range. So the topic we're going to be talking about is the new Tom's and Friends wood coming in 2018. The Tom's and Friends wood is a redesign of the original Tom's and Friends wooden railway. So recently I've been looking through some images of showing the engines. Honestly, really disappointing. Here, I'm starting up with the number one engine, Thomas. As you can see, Thomas and also all the other engines, they have some details that are unpainted, like the wheelbase, the sides and the edges, everything. Like, why? That you call that good quality? To me, it doesn't seem like good quality. Next image is Gordon. And oh my god, he has no dome. But he's not the only engine that's missing a dome. All the other engines in the Tom's and Friends wood range don't even have domes anymore. Like, why? Just why? Never trust domeless engines. They aren't respectable yet. Just like Thomas and also the other engines, unpainted wheelbases, unpainted sides and edges. Yeah, we get it. If we keep talking about this all day, I'm gonna get a headache. When fans said they want more wood because there's too much plastic, that's not what they meant, Mattel. Now, to be honest, I don't really mind the plastic as long as they look like good quality toys. But this here is not good quality, and I'm starting to miss the plastic already. As you can see, his tender is just a simple piece of block of rectangular wood. It's just a piece of block of wood, and for some reason the wheels are like too close to each other. Like, I'm not sure that's gonna be, like, I'm not even sure how that's gonna work out. Next image, James. Just like Gordon, the tender is completely wrong. If you look at the tenders, you can see painted coal. Is that a reference to the 1992 tender engines? Also, James does not look splendid anymore. Now he has less red now. I got a feeling he does not love it at all. Moving right along, here's Percy. Again, no dome and unpainted details. Yeah, blah blah, we don't really. And oh my god, Annie and Clarabelle. Is it really necessary to include just like people in the middle? Like that just looks so weird looking. Like, I don't get that at all. Yeah, they're passengers that needs to be inside the coaches, but come on, is that the best you can do? Next up is Cranky. It's alright, but I prefer the other Cranky a lot better. Next up is Birdie. Just like Annie Clarabelle, Birdie has a big gap in the middle, just so that it can fit a human in it. Moving on. Okay, next up is Harold, and oh my god. His face is just too flat. It's not even that roundish anymore. Well, this might be the prototype picture, so maybe the final product will be somewhat round. I wouldn't be surprised if it's gonna be flat like that. And again, unpainted details. It just looks like a pieces of blocks of wood. Next is the one they should have released a year ago, right before the Tom's and Friends would ever happen. Like, seriously, he's much shorter. We should have expected him to be even more longer than that, but no, just has to reduce the amount of wheels, which is quite disappointing. Next is Stanley, and I don't even know what to say right now. Yeah, I got the painted buffer beam, but just, ugh, I don't know what to say. Next is Spencer, and ugh, my gosh, much shorter, and the tender, oh my god, I don't know what to say right now. And Steven. On the bright side, his tender is detachable. But why couldn't Mattel done that in the first place when they first made Steven? As you guys may have known, the original Steven model has his tender just well connected to the engine itself. Next up is Victor. Moving on. Now there's Rusty, and oh my god, his face looks like a girl. Like, similar to Mavis. Well, interestingly enough, Britt Alcroft intended to make Rusty's gender neutral, and he's accidentally referred to as a female in a television series once, in the episodes called Tuneful Toots and Duncan in the Old Mine, but they were later edited for their DVD releases, not identifying Rusty as a male. Good thing. Moving on. Salty. Moving on. Hugo. Oh, the only difference is the wheels and everything else. Moving on. Flynn. I can't even tell if it looks like Flynn. Like it doesn't looks nothing like Flynn anymore. Just because well, Flynn is more red, but there's barely that much red in him anymore. And his tender or wagon or what? Moving on. Emily, okay, it doesn't. The bad thing is the wood being exposed. Diesel 10, you know what? Not that bad, but they shouldn't really shorten him just to cheapen it up. And here's Diesel, and yeah, moving on. Charlie, maybe Mattel did this to him just for telling bad jokes. Caitlin, oh my god. Ashima, they still can make her longer. I mean, she was more longer in the television series, and this does not look accurate still. And Hero, oh no. You know, I wouldn't be surprised that in the near future, Mattel will just make all the wheels black in every single engine, and cheapen everything else. And oh my god. And guys, I know that's not all the images that I have looked out through this entire video, but I'm just really disappointed with Mattel. Remember when TrackMaster 2 was first released in 2014, and everyone complained about it because of the unpainted details and the squashed up bodies? But later on, people starts to get used to it. Like, at least there's some models that look more great, like TrackMaster 2 Toby, Ryan, and Philip, and all the other models that still looks decent looking. And I still can't get the Edward and Emily out of my heads. Ugh. And maybe later on, maybe people will get used to the Tom's Friends wood. I don't know, guys. I don't think everyone will be used to it. Maybe we'll see in the future. Maybe we'll see how much money Mattel will make out of these. Like, this is just a huge disappointment.